Going to the architect.
Okay.
Junior.
Yeah, so I'll say what I do remember about last session, and if I did fall asleep because I didn't remember, we'll find out.
Yep.
Okay, so last time we started then heading to Grand Castle. We went our way over there. We decided to put our middle finger up to the guards at the gate and just walk through anyway, essentially. Just despite some very hesitant guards. Eventually, we ran across one of Talia's old friends, who also happens to be the person who imprisoned the two necromancers with us. He was not entirely happy to see us. I mean, he kind of liked the idea of Talia and Hirondor, not so much the other two. But we had immunity, so we kept going. Eventually, to the architect's place to meet his son, who is absolutely tiny and adorable. Who evidently doesn't want to be tiny and adorable and asked us to kidnap him. Wait, what? So we spent some time considering how we're going to do that, which we have plans for. The sewers. In a few months' time, if I remember. And then we took a trip, if I remember, down the hill, just ignoring the road, just going straight down the hill of mountains to, I think, was it get a boat over to where we needed to go to essentially make it way to Aramithant's island, or at least her tower.
Yes, you went to the Free City to catch a boat towards Arden Crest, where Emerson's tower stands.
Okay. So, yes, we went to her tower, of which things were wrong. So her traps did not go off like we expected. So we're pretty sure there was an intruder. And we went inside, and it turns out there was an intruder. And the place was absolutely wrecked. And we got into a fight, though I don't entirely remember what with.
A undead giant.
Ooh, yes.
Which had poison mace.
Did it have poison mace? Okay, it had poison mace.
Yeah, because it pummeled Hirondor and, fucked him up.
He's like 2 summons, they just got wrecked.
Yeah, he just pummeled me into the ground, but, yeah.
I remember it stun locked you, if I remember, didn't it, essentially?
Pretty much, yeah.
So, however, we went through that, and we completed the fight. And after being victorious, with all the power we could muster, we came over here, repaired the entire place with a million uses of mending. And we repaired the ritual circle and conducted the ritual under Aramithant's guide. With, of course, our great soul forger himself being the herald of this ritual. And it succeeded. And now we stand before a portal to the unspeakable vault, I believe, or something along those lines.
Oh yes, so you do. Anakin did manage to get a glimpse through the portal, and it looks to be like there's some sort of structure that you could stand on. Although, well, neither he nor Millicent would really know what to expect at all. In fact, Millicent does have at least a little bit of an idea what you should watch out for, as she'll sort of frown at the swirling energies inside of the circle that may or may not lead to some place. She turns to all of you and says, I do have to admit I'm not entirely sure what to expect. Until rather recently I was quite sure that reaching that place physically would be impossible. However, it does appear like my former student has in fact managed to do just that, and figured it would be a good place to store his ill-gotten gains out of range of detection. There's one thing that you might want to look out for. It is the place where the magic spirits that power most magic items are summoned from. I am not sure how those items would fare in there, how that would affect them. That does include myself as well. She frowns at that. Also, there's typing coming from your DDS.
Sorry.
So, are you saying we should not bring them?
I think it would be foolish to go there without weapons.
They might just be a bit unpredictable. That's fine with me.
Do keep in mind that if you have any particular items with you that harbor an ill will against you, those might become a problem. Of course, that does not include myself, but
Anakin
The cursed
looks at
dagger.
looks at his dagger, looks at Emelisynth, and says, "I don't suppose that you have a quick way of destroying this, then."
oh, I would have had before you killed me, probably. It's a shame, isn't it?
Anakin raises an eyebrow at her and says, "Well, someone got very vengeful all of a sudden."
She frowns again. On a more serious note, I could perhaps try to devise a way to get rid of said item. However, it does seem like everything is good to go. It would take some research. It would cause delays. The ritual we did here today would be wasted. I am not sure if it alerted Erasmus or not. If he moves what you are after, then
Bah!
everything would be for naught.
Anakin waves a hand. Whatever this cursed thing has in store for me, I am ready.
Graham nods, sort of looking at all his stuff.
And-
None of it particularly ill-willed. Everyone says,
Charlie.
I do, as many, get senses from these things. Pushes, surges of emotion. Says if they were to become very strong, I might act rather odd indeed. He looks at the others, a little worried.
Mm-hmm.
I do not see any issue with mine, though I would like to read a passage from the tome I have before we go through.
Shrugs. Yeah, all right. Strange, but you're glad that something like that sometimes.
We might need every blessing we can get.
Okay.
We're listening.
Do enlighten us.
Let me see if did I actually finish preparing one or not.
Or just mechanically, what does this entail?
Well,
You don't
Talia is actually taking forth the book, the litany of light which she has had upon her, scrolling through it and going to a passage about bravery, and beginning to recite it. It's longer than the previous passage she did, though we have slightly more time, so she's not as rushed. Though she doesn't want to take too long. But she will, with a loud, confident voice, letting forth all of her fervor through, will read from it, devoutly and faithfully, believing in every word she says, even some of the parts that seem to be a bit maybe exaggerated at times. It almost possibly sounds like someone trying to convert you, but she's not going to push for that.
Okay. And mechanically?
Mechanically, it means if in a soonish kind of time, it doesn't really specify duration, we get into a fight, I will be able to activate the magic item.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool.
I have to have this pre-done before a battle before I can use it.
Sure, I thought it was like a buff for us.
No,
or something.
it allows me to target one additional creature when I use buffs.
Ah.
All right, we'll listen to your thing.
The sermon, essentially.
Then Graham will walk around and say, on that note, we don't know what we're going to face in there, but given the strength of the guardian of this place, to Herandor, some extra layers of protection might be apt. If
Herandor
you
quirks
were to
an eyebrow.
require something similar as to what Enrikin granted you earlier, I could supply the power for such a thing to be made. The patterns should still be on you.
He kind of frowns a bit, and then kind of considers for a minute, and says, "I don't know what's going to be in there. I'm not sure if it'll be a good idea or not."
Just looks at this. Well, the offer stands. It'll take some time for me to grasp at Enrikin's prior work, but we have that time now. We might not have it later.
Herandor will just look around. Basically, the group, what they think. He's not 100% sure. Obviously, there's a vote from Graham.
Is Herandor asking Anakin whether Anakin thinks it's a good idea to fill Herandor with necrotic power?
All right, yeah. So he looks at Anarikin and goes, "Okay," and then looks to Talia.
I personally see both value in it as well as the dangers for it. In the end, I believe that I've put the only correct way, though, to answer this for you, next to Herandor. What do your scales tell you?
He frowns and says, "There's nothing particularly wrong with undead. Especially if it's used in the right means." Then he nods and says, "Well, if this helps us bring back order to everything, and perhaps saving some dear ones to me, then so be it."
Graham will walk over and reach out his hand, the black tendrils of his essence flowing into Herandor. Basically, he'll spend the time grasping at the strands, the framework that Enrikin laid earlier, and reinforce it with his own power. Perhaps the fragments that were still remaining there, being given power enough to continue, though probably in a weaker form, as it's a third level power. Herandor would have 50 temporary hit points.
Okay.
So the end of the next battle.
Don't you look lovely?
Beautiful.
Nottingham says, good. That last thing seemed to have it out for you. And in here we might face whoever made it, so...
He nods and says, "Giants were the ancestral enemy."
Graham nods and says, we made it that way, yes.
They weren't originally, were they?
He smirks and says, "They were eventually beaten down."
Anakin looks between Graham and Herandor, quirks an eyebrow, says, "Perhaps this is not the time to revisit the old wounds of the past. We're about to step into something quite formidable here."
I concur. As much as I enjoy it, we can study some history later.
He grunts. All right then, let's venture forth. And Anakin will step through the portal into the vault.
Talia will follow at his heel, essentially.
Yep. Cast us first.
Admittedly, Talia is pretty tough. It's pretty tough on the turn of casting.
The two metal golem just turn and smack the first two people in the head to get into the portal.
Yeah.
You have activated the Doom Ward.
Well,
Does
I
100 damage each.
if I get attacked, I'm fine. I don't know if Anakin is.
Let me just make sure everything's working. Alrighty.
Right. I don't know what that is, but getting all of the errors, so let me just close that to and
All of the
Yeah.
errors.
The math I did make some changes, which resulted in a very high file size map, and I've done what I could. I just hope it works.
Show transfer window. Let's see how long. Oh, this is going to take me a bit.
Well, my internet isn't crap anymore, so me forgetting to do something shouldn't be a problem.
Oh my god, look at
Oh
this.
god, yeah, the background. Oh, Christ,
Cheap, your internet isn't bad. Mine
Rip.
is.
oh.
Rip your bitrate, people. Sorry. Can't do it.
Whoa! Everything's so psychedelic for me now.
Oh, fucking hell.
Man, you guys are
I'm
gonna make it even
zooming so
worse if I
far
can
in.
only see a black map.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
First thing that happens is Graham steps off into the abyss. Well, there he goes.
Just takes Enric in the shoulder.
Oh, my
I
eyes.
remember now. I, Rasmus.
It was I all along, Enric.
I am the queen of the Fae, somehow.
That's a very have a majestic beard for a queen, I gotta say.
Wow! That's judgy.
No, I say it's majestic.
For a queen? You don't know that the other queens don't have more majestic beards, do you?
It is the most majestic beard I've seen on a queen.
It's like, it's my great shame. Not even made of leaves or anything.
Oh, I forgot to update
You
my
were
mental
cursed
defense.
with this form.
God, I now have 23 mental defense.
I can't help it.
He breaks down Christ. Why does everyone have so much more defenses than Enric? I feel so puny.
Everything's just black. Am I supposed to? Oh, there we go. There. There's.
I'm sorry.
I'm seeing
Yeah.
things.
Admittedly, I think we can both be jealous that everyone else at the other two's AC.
I have the worst defenses.
You know,
You
I know.
have
You
a good
also have
MD.
you also have the most powerful spells.
Got a good MD compared to Herondor.
Like
Come
it's
on.
honest. Like it's honestly true. You do have the most powerful spells though. Out of all of us,
I
have more.
suppose.
I have more spells, but you have the most powerful of the spells.
It's true. I have a lot of oomph in my spells.
Mine is not as oomphy.
It is
More buff-
because they
Alright.
are fueled by the suffering of the millions. What?
Have you loaded?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. As you step through the portal, you not only see what Enrican saw, but experience it. A world. Well, not really a world. There's a whole lot of nothing, at least for those who aren't as magically inclined, as really at this point most of the party is. While the really background, the horizon or lack thereof, is just blackness, you do sense more than see the wisps of crackling and sizzling energy that occasionally leave behind rainbow streaks. The platform you're standing on seems to be rather solid, if old marble just blocks, really. To your north, you see a few of those almost rotted away, as if someone had poured acid over the hallway. The tiles still perfectly aligned, but floating in like icebergs almost over an unseen ocean. Bobbing slightly, moving ever so slightly, but not really moving away from their current position much. To the east, a hallway ending in just nothing really. There is a ceiling that you of course can't see in map tools because 2D, as well as walls that look sturdy enough, if slightly crooked and just misshapen in a sense. Hirando would also notice that flapping his wings doesn't do anything. There's nothing to push off of. No air, no wind, no nothing. That would basically be how, well, a human might feel if he tried flying by flapping his arms. Just nothing. You are firmly planted on this platform. It feels as before. You aren't just suddenly floating away, even though it seems like the rocks have no problems doing just that. And even for those who usually have to breathe, don't really have to do it here.
Here, everyone is dead.
Well, Talia's the only one that hasn't been turned into some form of undead creature.
That's admittedly because it's also like not useful for her most of the time.
It's true. It's true. Although we could change that.
And if I may suggest some ambience music.
Like, I just don't. She's more
Unfortunately,
likely to make a charisma check in combat than.
unfortunately,
Melee.
can't stream. I think it was this one. How do I link this? I don't know.
You tell us.
Copy paste.
Link. There we go. Put it into Skype. Actually, I'll just put it both
I
places.
try to listen, but
We all know.
Number 42,
Yeah.
huh?
my laptop might just cry and die. So let's see here.
Listened to this one before, I believe. A good vintage.
You may move around, although please do it slowly. This will be more of a standard dungeon exploring thing rather than the usual like scene-based thing we have been doing. So if you want to move, go ahead.
Seems like
Right,
going right is the obvious way here.
Do my magic items feel different?
Not currently, no. Not
Okay.
to you, anyways.
And we'll give it like a check with the Millicent and the sword to see if she can feel something.
She's like screaming, like ah! Ah! No, I'm fine.
But you know, this is a learning experience for her too.
Through gritty.
He's like GLaDOS in the second Portal game.
The connection Graham has to Millicent feels very similar as before. It's not really one where you can talk to each other, but you can sort of feel and direct feelings. The what you get from her currently is just one of really curiosity, mostly.
That's what I expected. I will look to the others, so to give a nod that he's okay, and that, you know, as he like looks out over the empty void of the world between time.
Anakin has his staff gripped and looks around warily down the corridor.
We should tread carefully.
Nods. Fascinating.
Talia's certainly going to be looking out, trying to keep an eye out. Like, does it look like the floor's ever about to suddenly like fall out under us?
Perhaps Hirondor should go front, then Graham will take the back, and keep sure that we'll keep the casters in the middle,
Hooray!
the squishies, to
Feels
try to make sure that.
feels so safe here.
But Talia will be
You're
sticking
okay.
right behind Hirondor then, 'cause she's keeping an eye on the floor and the stonework and.
Yeah. All senses are questing, being like,
Yeah.
uh oh,
Yeah,
all the fucking time.
I think you and me, Jonas, we're also getting our magical senses.
Oh yeah, no, definitely being like everything is on high alert here.
Yeah, stop. As Hirondo and Talia sort of move there, the ground looks perfectly stable, but it feels as if it's sort of bending, like an overripe fruit when you step on it.
Ugh.
But looking down, there's no movement to be seen at all.
Let's see.
I mean, what does it look like over here? Is it just more of this?
No, let me reveal over here. North, a hallway.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. And this way it's just
Just
nothing.
more. Yeah. Alright. Is this like I'm presuming this sort of gap is easy enough for Herondor?
Yes, it's easy enough for Rondo and easy enough for the others as well.
Okay, cool.
Just feels weird.
Yeah. Herondor's taking like questing feet, like to make sure it doesn't like break underneath him or
It's like
something.
walking on a waterbed or something like that.
Yeah.
Or ice when you test it.
Yeah, just really like.
Yeah, like that. It's like testing the ice of like a river or something. Does this part feel more solid, or is it still?
It does get more solid slightly. From the feeling here was like walking on mud or something that gives in.
Oh,
This
yeah.
very much just feels like a hallway, really.
Okay.
Sort of in a low voice as you walk about looking at this, say, who built this?
That is actually a good question.
How old is it? She looks at it.
I suppose a question sheet is like, what does the architecture look like?
The architecture is very, very square, really. The floor is, well, if you compare it to current architecture, it's high quality marble. Probably looked nice at some point, but time has certainly done its thing. The walls aren't really decorated. There are like shapes and such, which don't really seem to serve any other purpose than look nice. The ceiling is just plain. There aren't really any windows or any signs that any pictures or anything have ever hung on here, though.
Is it obvious that this is the ancient Norse like architecture, or does this look like we could find this in Grand Castle? Like, where from on the continent does this come from?
Well, that sounds like something that I would like a check for.
I would recognize the constructions of my people.
That doesn't require a check. Graham can tell you that this is not something that his people would have done.
We mostly built with wood anyway, so...
How about sheep? I would like to propose then see if Talia knows anything about it.
I will propose that Anakin might as well.
Sure.
Such as Talia was a ruins explorer, so she's been through many different kinds of ruins and probably has seen many different kinds of architecture as a result, possibly recognizing the kind as a result.
I think that's very appropriate.
Anakin is a traveler of many roads and a delver of many ruins. He has also seen his fair share of old things and buildings.
May I also consult the bottle sheep?
Yeah, sure.
Take a swig.
I said consult the bottle. I talked to it. Do you remember?
Whatever you want to call it.
Let's see. I have 4 points in that. I have 5 intelligence, 6 level, and then 2. Woo!
Well, we know
Right.
exactly as much.
Yeah. First of all, Talia using the bottle does not get the same interaction that she had before. Instead of just talking into the like container and receiving an answer back, it seems like some of the smoke and fog contained in the bottle really just escapes and coalesces into a sort of shape next to her, very much humanoid. Sort of seems like a older man maybe, but it's hard to tell as it's sort of just fog really, that walks up to the wall and like scratches at it, of course not really doing anything as its fingers too are fog, and then instead of talking from the bottle just talks to Talia like that, basically as if this was just a normal conversation between perhaps scholars.
Okay then. Talia will be fascinated, but talk to it.
The result that both Enrican and Talia can agree on, that this kind of architecture, these kind of decorations, and this kind of style isn't really from any specific part. Both of you, having investigated ruins and such, might have, however, encountered it before. Enrican most definitely, in the same place where he found his dagger.
Ancient structures. From below the lost civilization, perhaps? He
No.
moves it. The same people built this who built the temple where the dagger was found. Dark, evil people.
Yeah. A note, by the way, just to you guys, is that I do have the sword that does have the power to give me a 20 on a knowledge, basically a natural 20 on a knowledge about construction and law. And this is a construction.
I don't think it's needed here yet.
Yeah, just a thing to keep in mind that we have that, and this seems to all be magical construction. So, if we do need to know something, we can.
What is beyond?
What does my smoky friend do? Does he go back to the bottle, or does he continue walking with us?
He sort of walks with you a little bit and then just disappears, really. Some of the smoke wisping back into the bottle.
Okay then.
Further north, Let me give you a proper revelation here. By revelation, I just mean the fog of war.
Revelations.
The revelations.
2020.
You see a fork in the road, all the way going north as well as east, with the corner looking as if some enormous thing had just taken a bite out of it. The wall completely missing, revealing just, nothing.
I hope there's whales in here.
Astral whales.
I hope there are no bunyips.
Also to the north, where the fog of war is, a large double door, wooden it looks like, decorated with what's visible even from a distance. Looks like mouths and eyes.
Kermit looks to Enrikin instead of questioning.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Is it unspeakable enough?
Are these mouths in fact speaking?
Not currently. The eyes on the door are closed, the mouths, some of them are open.
Well, that seems highly suspicious.
Do they have teeth in them? Sharp monster teeth or
Oh, yes.
flat human
Are
teeth?
are they twisted
whale
in
baleen?
terrible agony or something? What's the feel of the mouth? Like, is it happy?
The feel of the decoration on the door is very much like it's just an amalgamation of things squished into each other, and they don't seem to be happy.
Perhaps the souls of the people once lost in this place. Perhaps the life force of people needed to forge this place. And here, reality shows itself. The underlying foundations cracked and laid bare. We might be walking on the souls of the tormented. Anarkin muses to himself.
And lets a hand slide across the
Fast.
wall.
Fascinating theory. Though considering everything else here, it could be many more things as well. An amalgamation of spiritual power, perhaps.
Well, the road forks.
Can we see any further than this?
That's a
yes. Yeah, to the north is a door. To the east, sort of also. There's an object missing. Oh. To the east, you see 3 different iron-barred gates, really. One is, the 2 you can see, and also one leading this way. There do seem to be wooden signs nailed to the walls, right to the north here, to this place, and one just lying on the floor in front of the last one. From this distance, however, you can't read them.
And to the
Yeah,
north was
Randall.
just a door, and the screaming
creep
death
door.
mouth was...
That's on the
That's the door.
the door to the north.
That is the door.
The door is a amalgamation of screaming death faces.
Alright, Anarkin walk up to the screaming death door
Yep,
and
that seems like the right
investigate.
door.
Yep. If I would keep something incredibly powerful, I would keep it behind that door.
In the
All right,
door. Gate of Souls.
Before you move much closer, give me a d20, please.
9.
Okay, you sort of... Enrican sort of gets to hear, perhaps already investigating the door from a distance, as he notices that the door seems to move. Not really on a physical level, not something you can see, but something that he feels on the, magical sense.
Oh, okay. He
Something
stops.
Something that he can definitely confirm, as it seems the door is slowly melting.
Yeah! He will alert others to this fact.
Do we feel it too?
Well, it's no longer a necessity to feel it, as the door is quite literally melting.
Yeah, Talia takes a step back, pointing
Yeah.
herself forward.
Graham will step
be
up.
Do not want to melt the door.
As
Reach out his
the
hand, willing it to open.
as the eyes and mouths, the eyes open, the mouths chitter, and the entire form, with its, well, all of its limbs limps towards you. Slowly, ever so slowly.
Kill the door. Yep.
We'll go to initiative here.
Oh, goody.
What the fuck?
Still slow off this door.
Let's see, where's my initiative macro? That's not too bad.
Are you quicker than a door? Answer: yes. Not you here.
No. I don't think we can intercept this thing.
I would take my 26 initiative. That is.
Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to intercept this. So
You say this.
We were not here to intercept anything.
this is Anriken's job.
Oh yes,
Stand
Anriken.
back.
1 second. Telekinetically somehow picks up Anriken and puts him in front of it. There you go. Have fun.
Yeah.
Shall eat this. You shall feast upon the soul of the soul eater.
Oh no, guys, we're being put inside a cage.
Uh-oh.
And Rickon is just in the other cage.
Cage match.
Anriken, you can escape through the void.
Freedom.
Jump! You jump, you
We
just
need
hang
more.
there helplessly.
But as it turns out, Talia is the one to act immediately after Enriken runs away, basically.
We don't see
Talia,
any initiative.
who did say steps back, would you kind of do so, pointing her staff forward. Firstly, what the hell is this thing?
I think that's a good question.
It is a good question.
That would be skill check territory. And
Would
also
you-
maybe a move action to carefully consider.
Sure, I can spend my move action in this tile for that.
Ask the bottle.
No, I'm not going to be pulling the bottle out.
No, the bottle. Like, oh,
Would you
Lord.
say my Mr. Purge scholar could potentially help me here with this thing? Considering Talia has studied so many different things relating to both magic, arcane, and divine before.
Yeah, I think that works.
In which case, what is this thing?
Oh, that's
31. Talia would think that this is a terrible abomination.
Thank you for the
How-
obvious.
How it's made is sort of beyond her education, and, well, usually these things shouldn't exist. That's the one thing she agrees with, definitely.
How dangerous is it?
I mean,
She would think that these things are slow but incredibly dangerous if they get to corner you.
Oh.
She would also know that if the mouths and eyes aren't kept busy, they will let out a wail that drives people insane.
Great.
In addition to that, with its amorphous structure, weapons don't work great, but they do work.
it's
About the
it's-
magical kind.
Like, the thing is, we're in a plane that shouldn't exist, between time that nobody thought was even possible to arrive at.
Mm-hmm.
Facing the kind of thing that feasts on the spirits that you make magical items with.
We
The
are
basis of
facing.
knowledge is
We are at the end
very
of
low.
time, and facing madness itself.
Yeah, Talia in a bold, almost so loud that it's almost like she's enjoying her voice. Will kind of tell everyone about this, at the same time as panicking and launching a javelin of favorited. Because, oh my god, nope.
Alright, the javelin sinks into the mass and does singe it somewhat, although certainly doesn't stop its advance.
Still not bad damage. And I can't move out the square because I spent my move action on studying it.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
Well, if it is incredibly dangerous, maybe it's time to hit it with something big then. How about that? Anakin
Sure.
will step here. He will grip the dagger and will swing it in a scything arc towards the thing as basically terrible, like, lesions and wounds, like, cut open into it, and, like, whatever it's inside just starts leaking out and oozing away, as he will cast his new spell, the Red Reaping, which is a reflavor
My
of the Cone of Corruption
God.
on the thing. So let's see if I hit.
Let's see if you do. 22, yes.
Okay. 51 negative energy damage. And on a natural even hit, which that is not, I believe,
Nope.
he was hampered. Oh well, it was a good attempt. Trying to hamper the fucker.
Fortunately, you only rolled a 9, not a 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You slice into the mass of things, cutting the flood like Noah. Not Noah. The other one.
Moses.
For a moment, but it
Yep.
floods back together.
Well, Graham looks at it, looks at the many tentacle mouths and stuff, and looks to Hirandor, thinking that maybe, with the light beams and cutting flows of blood from it, that maybe he's not here to actually kill it, but here to take the wounds that it might inflict. Though Hirandor, he will nod to Hirandor for him maybe to go in there first, and then he will follow, because he's gonna first activate his negative energy shield, wreathing himself in the dark power that he has, basically, just violently unleashing the pool within him to lash out at anything that dare to try to harm him. So I will give myself like a purple shield. And the Edeling, of course, will fearlessly move in to cut it.
That's actually not a bad roll.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
9 physical damage.
That does hit and inflict spell damage.
Okay,
Nice.
I think it's resist 11.
Scram will prepare to charge in next turn.
Okay, Hirandor.
All right. Yeah. Randall's just gonna go on in. Let's just assume he's in that square. And he's gonna try and bite this thing? Question mark. Or double claw? Question mark. Depending on with his new weapons, really, how you want to flavor that.
Well, it depends on what you do. If you want to get the D10, then you would
D10.
just still use your bite. If you wanted to basically dual wield, you would use D8s, but get to reroll on the 2. That's a decision that you have to make. How you flavor that, I don't really mind.
I have made it. Don't worry.
But that is a miss.
A miss. Oh,
It is
Jesus.
also an 11, meaning it takes only 3 of that damage.
Well, before you do that,
Okay.
would a 20... Let me just check. I think it'd be 24.
24 would hit, yes.
Okay, in that case, it would be this.
Half any damage, so that would be 16.
Yes. So where he would have missed with his bite, he manages just to tilt his head slightly to the right direction to land just a glancing blow. And then, almost in the same breath, he breathes cold breath up over it.
So that is also a hit. Freezing some of the stalks with ice. Alright. So the wall of flesh, the X door, will do the following. It will move forward half a square, pushing everyone in front of him. Sort of like
I can't get to it.
so. As
Talia feels too close now.
yeah, Enric and Talia are not engaged, but Graham is basically engaged by this thing, as
Alright.
it will then attack with tongues, arms, and pseudobots. That is against the Edeling, against Graham, and against Hirandor. Note that the damage is split, meaning that if you're hit, you only take a third of that currently.
Okay. Oh, fucking
Meaning
Christ.
that
Edeling is certainly hit.
Edeling is dead. Both Graham and Hirandor take 13 points of damage.
Okay.
Well,
Because
That is the miss
it
effect.
missed damage, yeah.
alright.
13 acid damage.
And then we take 13 acid damage.
So the formatting is completely off.
Right, I suppose.
Yeah, could do with some break lines there, I think.
Yeah, let me just.
Could be
That's better.
worse.
Yeah, that's
I suppose. Also, that one was on me, is it?
It's the
Engaged
middle
you
one.
an odd roll. No, I got a even. So
Hey, didn't you got... Wasn't the 9?
I got a 6. No, the 9 was. Wait. Oh, what?
The 17 against the Edeling,
The
the 9
4.
against Graham, and then the
Oh,
last
a
one
9
is just,
then. Then I get to activate the shield to give it 23 as in negative energy damage back.
All right. Some of the mouths squeal as the energy discharges. Splash die goes to 1. Talia.
Right, you two. Get
Um,
back.
Get back!
Which way are we going?
Anyway, but forwards.
Split up. Then one of you will be.
One of you shall survive.
Yes.
Send word.
There. This way.
The
It makes
gate
sense
must
to
be
go
sealed forever. I
As-
will hold
as-
it off.
as Talia will rush backwards and launch forth, the spirits of the righteous, I think, towards this thing. Attempting to burn it with divine power. Also, escalation dice 1.
Yes. As can be seen.
Yes. That's definitely it.
I hope my 15's a hit. I'd be scared if not.
Holy damage. Maybe he's vulnerable to that?
It does not seem so. No.
Just pretty much every attack I do unless otherwise specified is holy damage. So,
What would that damn thing be vulnerable to? Look at that.
let's see, and no one. You don't really need temporary hit points shared about yet, so
I wouldn't mind. But yeah.
the thing is, Hirandor wouldn't benefit from it as much.
No.
Wouldn't
that's
benefit from any of it.
Like I give it to the. I suppose I could just give Graham a whole bunch of temporary hit points technically.
You could.
But I'm not really gonna go unless he deals all of that damage onto me at once. I'm not
Are
really
He's
gonna
gonna do
feel bad.
more now because we don't have a third engage with it.
Is you know what? Sure. Talia is going to cast for power bless onto Graham.
Ooh. What's that do for me?
You'll gain a +2 bonus to hit until the end of the battle and 16 temporary hit points.
Cast for power.
60?
16.
16. Okay, I was about
I
to
roll-
say that's.
I had 4d10. I rolled below average.
1600
Oh,
hit points.
then we'll take it. And the +2 too. That's a very nice bonus. As you can feel the blessings of what god?
One moment, sorry, because I had my. What did you say?
What god? What's
Of Eritone, the enlightening radiance, god of knowledge, wisdom, and the sun.
I've got to figure that as Graham now having you granted divine inspiration and knowing just how to strike at this monster.
As Talia focuses her power through Graham, the instrument of the gods.
Indeed, old gods and the new.
Instrument of the
Anakin,
old
sure,
gods. Wait, what?
What? Wait. Excuse me.
All right.
Anakin's turn now.
Anything else?
Finally, we've met my brother.
Anakin.
Anrican, take a step back from this.
One step back.
I mean, how much back here?
It moved a square, so
Yeah, I can-
you want to be in the final half of a square, I
Yep,
guess.
basically. He moves back here to give himself some space, and then he, with grim determination, looks at the thing and basically points at it with his hand and says, "Back to the abyss!" And then he will shoot corpse explosion at this
That's where
thing.
we are.
Well, it needs to go back down then, or not be
Yeah.
here.
Know your master, beast.
Exactly. I will destroy you.
See that corpse explosion.
That hits.
Yes, as spectral creatures swarm around it, clinging onto it, and then after Anna can snap his finger, explode in fiery goodness.
Explosions.
Basically. Yep. Detonations all over him. 64 fire damage.
Into its mouths.
Yeah.
The high pitched, the many pitched squeals echo through the hallway once again, and it is staggered.
It reels! Graham! Finish it!
Graham.
All right, I'll do my best. All right, well, I'll use a smite evil then to add as much oomph as I can. See, my current bonus pretty fucking high. So, is my +4 for smite evil in the macro? It is. All right. And I'm using the Blade of Order and Creation. Now, is this thing supposed to be here? Like, is this...
Well, the thing is...
its natural habitat? The blade probably doesn't
This
think
place
so, does
doesn't meant to exist on its own.
The
let
blade
alone-
isn't sure what is supposed to be here, so it errs on the side of caution and says maybe.
It's half-dazed.
It's like a...
it just produces a question mark.
We'll cut him with that.
It certainly hits.
And then we'll search a strength for a bonus of 26.
Alright.
And he also gets to be... everyone else gets a +1 to hit him until the beginning of our next turn.